Your very own Mr. Entertainment. Mark Mulgrew on 107.8 Black Diamond FM.
And still sitting here with Patrick Dennis. Just played a track off your album as well, I Ain't Anyone. Aye, I'll put your mic on so we can hear you.
Yes.
I Ain't Anyone. Played that just before. Great stuff as well. And I've got to say, you sound the same live as you do on the CD.
I hope that's a good thing.
Well, no, you do, and which is good, because sometimes when you hear people do their live stuff as opposed to their recorded stuff, and it's completely different.
Well, you do, but a lot of times it's people. I think they find it a bit of a task to sing live. I think it's a different sort of thing. You know, it's like you sing in a studio. You're insulated. You've got the cans on. You can hear yourself. And when you're playing in a pub or something like that, especially if you're playing acoustically and you're not mic'd up, you've got to fight the volume of everybody in that pub that's talking over you, or making noise in front of you. Plus any other musicians you're playing along with as well. So it's kind of a hard. It can be a hard task at times, but you just get used to it. I mean, I don't really think about it anymore. It's like
I'm the same. You know, everything's done live, and I sometimes wonder, when you see somebody on the telly and they go, "Oh, they were singing live tonight." Well, why not? Some of these big recording artists, why not sing live?
Then again, I've seen some bands that have played live, and I've kind of come away from the concert feeling like, I could have just saved myself 20 quid here and just listened to the album, because it is absolutely no different from the album. Fleetwood Mac back in the 70s, when I saw them when they were on the Rumours tour, was like, I just listened to the album being played live, and it didn't sound any different from the album, and it was just didn't move me at all. It's like, so it's like, there's a fine line there. You've got to try and inject a little bit of
and make it
reality
a bit
and
different and put on a show.
Liveliness to it. Otherwise it's just, you might as well just sit at home, listen to the album, and think beautiful thoughts of Stevie Nicks.
Moving very swiftly on. Now, if people want to you mentioned earlier on, so if people want to see you live and go and see what you do, you can pop along to the Royal Oak at Infirmary Street 3 till 6 on a Saturday afternoon.
Every Saturday afternoon, and it's an open session. We welcome local musicians to come along and sit and do a song. Especially if they're doing their own stuff. I don't make any rules as far as that is concerned, but I especially like local musicians to come, because I really believe that we should be supporting our local talent, and that's one way of doing it. I'm also playing tomorrow evening at the Toll Booth Tavern on the Royal Mile. Mm-hmm. I'll be on from 8:30 till 11, and then I'll be running up the street to the Whiskey to join Stephen and Ed Henry with Old Dollar Bill at the Whiskey. And then Saturday afternoon, as I said, we're at the Oak. But then I'm sitting in with Old Dollar Bill on Saturday night again at the Toll Booth Tavern. Mm-hmm. And then I do also a Sunday session at the Toll Booth Tavern every other week. So this week's an off week, but on the 11th I'm doing that. I'm also back at the Toll Booth Tavern on the 16th, and I'm also playing at the Ale House on the 29th. Mm-hmm. And that's a Thursday night, I believe that is, and that's also a session where I'll let anybody get up and play with us, as long as they're sober enough, and
I was actually in the Ale House a couple of weeks ago. The first time I've been in for years, and there was a young lad, a Welsh lad, who had come up, and I can't remember his name, unfortunately, but I thought it was very good. But I think the setup in the Ale House is quite good.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. My favorite place to play when it feels right is probably, and I don't really want to say this because I'm probably advertising here, but it's probably the Whiskey, because it feels like a good room. Mm-hmm. It really does. And the Toll Booth as well. It's the right shaped room, and it feels good. It's like, but I've played the Ale House half a dozen times now, and I'm sat in sessions there, and I like it there. Yeah, it's mm-hmm. great. It's a great place. Any music venue that's putting on local talent and promoting original artists is good. Is good for me, because there's just not enough of them out there. There's too many karaoke nights, too many open mic nights where somebody gets two songs. and it can play anything they want. Or in the certain pubs, which I won't mention their names, they have their songwriter nights, and you go there, and it turns out it's kind of an old pals sort of closed shop act, and it's the same people going around in circles, and you're not really getting much of a look in, so. You're trying to get in there and do like more than 2 songs to be that featured act, and you're finding that you're waiting behind somebody's mate who doesn't even live in Edinburgh or something like that. So I have my opinions. I'd prefer to not offend too many people and keep them as diplomatic as possible about that.
The politics of local music. Yes, it does go on. It does go on. And,
God, yeah.
but I suppose, in fairness, though, everybody's looking for their slice. Everybody's looking.
Yes, there is, but I believe that there is enough pie out there for everybody to get a decent enough slice if everybody tries to work together, as opposed to working against each other, or I'm all right, Jack. So I believe that I've been in places like Austin, Texas, where they have what I say is the model music scene, where you have a town, it's a university town, it's a capital city, similar to Edinburgh, similar size to Edinburgh, and they've got a fantastic music scene there, and the musicians all tend to work with each other. They tend to support each other at their gigs and whatnot, and and you get very different types of people all mucking in together. There's punk scene, there's a jazz scene there's a reggae scene, there's obviously country and blues scene there, and they're all mucking in together. And I don't see why we can't do that here.
I've
especially with all these students in town.
I've got to say, I do have to say, forget Obama, forget Mitt Romney, vote for Patrick Dennis.
No, I don't want that job. I think there's a guy already doing a good enough job already, and that's enough. That's
good
enough
stuff.
of
Good
that.
stuff. Now we're going to get you guys to play something else.
Right, we're going to play something that's not on the CD. It's a song about my very first ever trip to New Orleans. It's called Blind Henry.
Great stuff.
Down here the river runs muddy brown. You ain't seen a place so broke down. Hoodies, punks hanging around. Welcome to the losing side of town. And I don't talk about what I got to lose. Blind Henry sings the blues. Where the doctors, the lawyers, the beggars, and the thieves, they're all hanging off by the skin of their teeth. The circus has packed up and pulled out of town and left behind every last one of these clowns. All stand in circles, staring at their shoes. Blind Henry sings the blues. Wanna go crazy, take a number and wait. The devil's dirty business got a lot of his plate. Ain't no room left down in hell. They're taking bookings at the Victoria Hotel. I don't expect that bellhop's gonna shine your shoes. Blind Henry sings the blues. I don't talk about what I got to lose.